Hi Leo, welcome to your June 2021 monthly messages from Spirit Reading. This is your girl Mermaid Scales Tarot. My intentions for this reading, Leo, is to channel and provide messages from Spirit for you for the month of June. I'm welcoming in this space my highest self, my spirit team, and I invite you to open the portal to allow your spirit team, your higher self, your ancestors, spirit guides, angels, even passed down loved ones that you have in mind. I welcome you now to invite them in this space so they can help me and provide the messages for you and help you receive these messages that come through. You are welcome to do so at this time. So, Leo, I'm going to ask Spirit what you need to know for June, what you need to be aware of, whatever's been weighing on your mind and your heart, what you need to know about it, and how to best move forward in the month of June for your highest and greatest good. This is a general reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and or any other strong placement for the sign of Leo. This will not resonate with every Leo that watches this message, and if this message is not for you, I suggest checking out your other signs and different placements. Alright Leo, so to start off the reading, I am going to ask a keeper of the light, a being of the light, to come forward for you. And you may know this keeper, being of the light, you may not. If you know them, give a shout out, but if you don't, I suggest looking them up because they will be coming through for you in the month of June. And let's see what message they have for you at this time. Alright, so who would like to come forward for Leo? What message do you have for Leo for June 2021? But truly, whenever you hear this message, it is the right time for you. White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Wow. So Leo, White Eagle is coming through for you. And this feels ancestral, but deeply, deeply ingrained. There could be certain memories from your childhood, from your family that is surfacing now. And they're surfacing now so they can be healed. So they can finally just be broken from the generational curses or traumas that you know, Leo, it's not just you that experience this. It's lineages and lines from the past that have been carrying a certain pattern up until you. And Leo, know that you are the one to break this pattern. You are the one to break this curse. And I relate to this very strongly, not because I have a stellium in Leo, but man, I have been going through similar situations, Leo, understanding that the people who raised me and the experiences I've had from my family, from my childhood, I went through that because that's what they were taught. That is what they received. And that's how they used the tools that they had to raise us. I feel there's a lot of forgiveness going on, Leo. And if there is a passed down loved one from your family that you've held some sort of resentment, you didn't receive closure, you didn't receive an apology, you didn't receive a response, know that you are meant to experience this month in June to finally let that go, to understand that you don't want to live further with the patterns and the behaviors and the traumas that your family has been going through, your ancestors have had. And you're choosing not to carry that with you anymore. The energy of it, the fear of it, the trauma of it, you are releasing it. And your ancestors, whether they are from your recent family or even past hundreds of years back, lines back, are here supporting you, guiding you. I feel a lot of you have had visions of your past life. I don't know if you're aware that this was your past life, or even visions of what your ancestors went through, dreams that you couldn't make sense of, maybe dreams of where you were in a different time period and you experienced certain things that it felt like the life wasn't yours. And for some of you, again, it's because that was the life of your ancestors that you were seeing through the eyes of, or you were tapping into a past life. But your ancestors, Leo, want you to know that you are the one to make this change. You are the one to not repeat the patterns to future generations or just within your own life. You are the light bringer, the breaker of chains for your ancestors, and they are supporting you 100% of the way, sending you love, sending you light, bringing certain memories to awareness for you to recognize that that is something that you no longer want to be a part of, that you want to hold on to release for your own healing, and it's healing down the line. And if there's certain toxic family members that are in your life presently, Leo, that are causing disruptions, causing triggers, Leo, you don't have to accept them. You don't have to accept their behavior. You don't have to accept what they've done or didn't do, but you can forgive. And what forgiving does, again, it's not accepting, but it's choosing to no longer hold priority of this person's energy over your perspective of yourself or of your life. And you're forgiving them for not knowing, for not having better tools in their toolbox, for not doing what they are unaware of. Because Leo, at the end of the day, we can't change anyone. They have to want to change for themselves. They want to grow for themselves. They want to evolve, but we cannot do that for them. And I feel for some of you, there's certain people in your family you've been trying to change, trying to help them see a higher perspective, and they just can't, Leo. And that's not a burden for you to bear. What you can do is recognize when certain patterns are happening within you, in your psyche, in your being. And also establishing boundaries, Leo. I feel some of you have felt guilty for establishing boundaries with certain people, whether this is your direct family, soul tribe. And it's okay to do so, and you're not disregarding them, you're not dishonoring them. And if they're making you feel that way, that's even a bigger sign and a bigger indication that you need to establish a boundary. But it's telling them what your comfort is, what you will allow, and what you will not allow for your greatest and highest good. And eventually, maybe through that boundary, it will start to show them what they need to do in order to be better for themselves, as well as mend the relationship with you. Bottom of the deck, beautiful. Lord Ganesh. Infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. Wow. So Leo, if you're not getting the help or the support through your family members, you are getting the help and support through your spiritual team, your ancestors. But even for some of you, there's people who have been coming in your life, Leo, who are showing you what is traumatic, what you're still holding on to, what is no longer serving you. And by becoming in that powerful awareness, which Leo, give yourself a pat on the back for, because not a lot of people do this. It's creating those blockages to be removed. And it's not just on a personal level. Again, it's in your DNA. It's what you inherited spiritually, energetically. And those obstacles from what you've inherited through that lineage, through that line, through that energy is being removed so you can receive your abundance. For some of you, there's this Five of Pentacles feeling, this poverty feeling, this lack of feeling that has come from your lineage, that has come from your family background. And if it's not, physically through your financial means, it's the belief of never having enough, never being good enough. Your family putting high expectations on you that you felt like were just never acknowledged, never received. whatever that is, the lack is being destroyed, because you're understanding that that was what was projected onto me. It never proved my value. It never proved my worth. And that was something that was taught to me, taught to those before me, but I'm choosing a different way. And your ancestors are really cheering you on and honoring you, Leo, taking the time right now to bow to you and recognize the work you have done to break that cycle, to break that chain. It's beautiful. And some of you, I feel, are becoming parents, whether you're pregnant or someone's expecting to have a baby in the family or whatever. And this is really, and if this isn't for you, just bear with me for a second, but this is really what's lighting the fire in you to make a change, because you don't want to pass it on to future generations, to your children, to your future children, whatever the case is. Powerful. Let's keep going. Do apologize if you hear the work being done outside. What does Leo need to know for the month of June? Ooh. Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. And then honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Wow. So even for some of you, there's family secrets. Family secrets, or you were raised with the belief to just sweep everything under the rug, to not talk about it, because there's that illusion of what isn't talked about means it doesn't exist, which is not the case at all, which is what I feel you've learned, Leo. And maybe that's just the pattern, again, that your family has learned to do, just to not talk about it, not discuss it, and that just is what makes them feel like it doesn't exist. But Leo, I feel for a lot of you, you have been struggling with this decision of who you need to cut out of your life, who you need to establish a boundary with, or even to just move forward feeling okay despite it going against your family's wishes, or going against what your family would think or say about you should you start going on your own path, whatever it is. It's time to make that decision now, Leo. And again, if you don't see the direct support from those around you, currently you have the support of your ancestors, you have the support of Ganesh and White Eagle, who are coming forward for you now to do so. But also, Leo, this combination is giving me another indication about how you're really the only one that is choosing to do something about this. To reprogram yourself, to re-enlighten yourself, and to not just go by what someone else tells you and take that as face meaning. You feel it. Your intuition is awakening. I feel third eye energy coming through very strongly. You're envisioning something better for yourself, and those visions are being sent to you from your ancestors to let you know this is something you can achieve, Leo, once you decide that you want more, you deserve more, and you're not going to be bound by these ancestral ties and contracts anymore. If there isn't a decision you've been delaying to make, honestly look at yourself and the reasons why you're afraid to make that decision. Is it anything that is part of your truth, or is it because of what others have told you is true, what others have told you is what you need to act upon, but has nothing to do with you? And honestly examine it from that perspective. But know you are meant to go further than what anyone in your family has done. And even for some of you, it's like I'm getting this energy that you are or will be the first to graduate from school, the first to get a master's degree, the first millionaire, the first healer in your pattern, or the first one in a very, very long time. The first of something, Leo. And own that. Own that for yourself, and own that for those before you who told you you were anything different. Not to just prove to them or get revenge at them, but to show them that they were living in the dark while you choose to live in the light. Wow. Deep healing here, inner child healing here. Let's keep going. What does Leo need to know for the month of June? Compassion. Wow, the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. And then realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external processes of becoming our highest expression in this world. Leo, you are more powerful than you believe. And the impact you have on others, the impact you have in this world, is more powerful than what you're giving yourself credit for. And again, Leo, I feel some of you, which is completely understood, holds on to resentment, holds on to anger from, again, whether it's someone who's unwilling to admit, unwilling to apologize, unwilling to provide closure, or again, someone has moved on into another dimension, another frequency, and you weren't able to get that closure from them. But Leo, I feel the lesson in June is for you to realize that you're giving away your power when you consciously perceive someone's actions to be more powerful than yours. And I think, Leo, the medicine here for you in June is to have compassion, again, like I said in the beginning of the reading, for those who just didn't know any better, who didn't have the consciousness, who didn't have the experiences, who does not or do not have the power you have to break free. And if anything, that is something to have compassion for. When someone just is so unwilling to take accountability, to see a new way, to be stuck in unhappiness because that's all they know, really that is something to have compassion for. But again, that doesn't mean you allow it. That doesn't mean you'll be a part of it. But instead of holding anger for it, realize how lonely and sad and how unhappy that must be to choose to live in that existence. And to really also, Leo, understand that it has nothing to do with you and never did. It had something to do with someone's treatment or perception of themselves, and that's how they decided to treat you. And I think you are realizing that. You are opening up to that perspective. And the power of that realization is what's changing your reality. It's changing what you are going to decide for yourself moving forward that you weren't able to decide for yourself before. Wow. I mean, I just feel this gratitude from your ancestors for recognizing this when they couldn't. Wow. Let's go ahead and see what the tarot has to say for you guys. What does Leo need to know about June? Six of Cups, inner child, the past, childhood. You may have, some of you felt like you couldn't have a childhood, that you had to grow up fast, that you had to take on the lead of the household, that you had to make choices that children should never make, or something that is still impacting you from your childhood. And reconnect with that inner child, Leo. If you didn't hear what you needed to hear as a child, if you didn't feel the love that you needed to feel, your adult self in this present moment can tap into your inner child and give that love and that compassion to the inner child that's still seeking it and craving it and wanting it and nurturing that inner child. Some of you, I just have to say, there could be sibling rivalries for some, or you had if it's not rivalry, your sibling was or is the only one that you felt fully supported by. Something with your sibling here is tapping through, and if you do have a passed down sibling, for some of you, they're helping you through this, they're guiding you through this, they're sending the healing love that they gave you before they passed on. Some of you, your sibling is your best friend. And if you do have unhealed energies between you and your sibling, if you do have this tension, if you do have this toxicity, again, you don't have to accept them for who they are or what they've done. But you can just have compassion for them not knowing any better, not doing any better, and again, choosing to stay in that lower vibration while you're choosing to move on and not feeling like they have to bring you down with them. Let's keep going. What does Leo need to know? Queen of Pentacles. Capricorn energy coming through. So yeah, I feel because of the way you were raised, Leo, or the way you went through childhood, your experiences, the programs you've had, you waver on your self-worth and your power. What you can do, what you can accomplish, what you need to work towards, what you can have. You go back and forth on it. And Spirit's coming through to say, regardless if you're male or female, you can create and maintain your security, your foundation, your success, your wealth. And to also, like I said in the beginning, to give a pat on your back, congratulate yourself for how far you've come, Leo, with the circumstances you were born into, with the circumstances you were given, how much you've grown from it, prospered from it. You didn't choose to stay a victim. You evolved into someone that is worthy, is powerful, is a creator of new circumstances in their life. And Spirit's saying you don't give yourself enough credit for that. Know your value, know your worth, know your power, and firmly stand in it. Hold it tight. So whenever life throws something at you, you know you're going to get through it regardless. You've gone through so much before, and you've always made it out. Let's get one more card. What does Leo need to know about the month of June, Spirit? Ace of Swords. So Gemini had this card come through their reading. Some of you could have Gemini in your chart perhaps. Clarity, understanding, a breakthrough, an awakening. And then Nine of Wands, Sagittarius energy. Yeah, Leo, you have been through a lot. There were the cards that you were dealt with that wasn't a hand that was favorable, but you've made it through and you are strong because of it. No one can compare to your spiritual strength, your power. And people really do, and even if they don't communicate it to you, right now it's your ancestors and spiritual team really honor your strength and honor your power. Honor what you've done to make it here. And with the Ace of Swords, you're really understanding that compassion is the key to healing. Compassion for yourself, compassion for others. And that is what's going to break the chains from repeating cycles, repeating traumas, repeating hurts, and holding on to energies that were inherited to you that don't belong to you anymore. You've outgrown them. And that's the clarity you're understanding through the power of compassion and love. Powerful reading, Leo. My goodness. Once you come to this understanding of your power, nothing's going to ever make you waver again in who you are and what you are worth. And you're going to make decisions based on that knowledge of how powerful you are and what you deserve and what you don't deserve, what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate. Honor yourself as your ancestors and spirit team are honoring you. I feel it. Almost called you Cancer. Some of you can have Cancer in your chart. I feel it, Leo. I feel it. So I'm going to pull one more card from this oracle deck called the Crystal Mandala by Alana Fairchild, one of my favorite oracle decks of all time. I'm going to see what crystal energy is coming through for you, as well as another ascended master, light being, god, goddess, archangel wants to come through for you to wrap up the reading. And I'm going to read some of the descriptions in the book because the way Alana Fairchild writes it is beautiful. So let's go ahead and see the final message for my beautiful Leos. Anything else that Leo needs to know about for the month of June, Spirit? Goddess Matangi and Heliotrope. And if I mispronounce that, please let me know the correct pronunciation in the comment box. Already there is value. Wow, so let's go ahead and read what this message has to say. With the goddess energy, 888 energy, powerful energy, Leo. Again, you are powerful. Own it. Feel it. Accept it. We bring you the empowerment to see that already there is value. It is natural for creative energy to become excited by new possibilities, new ideas, and new forms. It is also possible, however, for creative energy to become engaged in liberating the undiscovered value within that which already exists, polishing it until it shines with divine light. Sometimes there is a need to shed the past and all associated with it completely, starting afresh. However, at other times, there is something of value from the past that can, if allowed to bask in the light of your creativity, become very valuable for your future. In your enthusiasm to move forward in life, don't forget to take the value that already exists in your world along with you. The innovative, creative mind tends to be future-oriented. It can show things could be. There is excitement for what is yet to be and a desire to embrace the new, and perhaps a feeling of excitement for what is unusual and stands apart from what has been. This can be healthy and helpful. Newness can bring energy and uplifting change. It is wise, however, to not rapidly cast away all that has been to make space for the new. It is a question of discernment and degree. Sometimes it will be appropriate to take extreme measures to purge the past. At other times, it is simply not necessary, and if you do not pause to consider the value of what you are releasing, you may lose valuable resources that will support your future. Perhaps it is an idea that will be further worked upon for the full divine brilliance to be revealed, or a connection that already exists and is going to unexpectedly rise up and support you in your divine work in some way. Whether there is an old idea half completed, an opportunity not yet acted on, or information not yet taken in and digested, the oracle says that something valuable is right under your nose. It may well be the very thing that helps you bridge the past and the future. You're guided to sit with your creative efforts and what already exists in your life, with your relationships, your possessions, the information you have at your disposal. Is there information, a project, a situation, or inner guidance that you have already received that you are yet to fully integrate and apply in your life? Is there something within you that could be beneficial to you? Use your intuition. Allow yourself to feel for your inner guidance. Is there something you have too quickly dismissed as trash that could actually be transformed into treasure? If you're inspired to reinvigorate a past practice, to revive or reinvent yourself, a brand or a project, then the oracle brings you encouragement for this process. Wow, okay, Leo. So, yeah, I feel the saying that's coming to me, and it sounds cliche, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And the pain that you've had from your past and your experiences, you can transmute into the fuel that is going to fuel your fire to do better, to expand, to create a new future for yourself, a new existence from yourself. And it's from what you've learned from your past that is making this be possible today and moving forward from today. So recognize even some of the things that you've experienced through your family, through the traumas, through the generational curses. They were there for you to transmute it into something better. And know that your angels and your ancestors, especially your ancestors, are behind you and support you each step of the way you start regaining power back. That was taken from them. You're regaining it. Beautiful reading, Leo. Thank you so much for letting me provide these messages for you, for coming in this space. I hope it has given you healing, insight, clarity, and guidance in regards to your month in June. If it has, please let me know. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you, Leo, very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care, Leo.